So, this is not fun at all. This is not fun to watch at all, boys. This is not fun at all. The Phillies suck right now, and it's terrible. The Phillies lose this ball game. They lose the series to the Atlanta Braves. They lose 12-6. And not going to knock the offense at all. The offense did their job today. You score 6 runs at a ball game, you should win. Zach Eflin on the mound was trash. The bullpen, trash. Starting pitching, just overall, besides Aaron Nola, trash. This entire season, even going into it, it was the one key going into the season. What is this starting pitching going to do? What is this 5-man rotation going to do coming into the season? Are they going to be good enough? Are they going to compete in this division in order to give this Phillies a chance to make the postseason? Well, where did that get us? Where did that get us with Matt Klentak ownership going into the season relying on this staff? It hasn't gone good. It hasn't gone good at all. The pitching staff sucks. The bullpen, riddled with injuries, sucks. Our pitchers cannot go deep in the ball games, and that is destroying our bullpen. No wonder Pat Neshek, a guy can't pitch a day and get injured, even though Pat Neshek sucks as well. This pitching staff as a whole is just flat out garbage besides Aaron Nola. Zach Eflin on the mound today, even though the beginning of the season has been a very solid pitcher in our starting staff. He was very consistent, but his last 3 starts, at least a 9 ERA, and he's 1-2. That is not acceptable right now. And in the stretch that we're in right now, that is completely not acceptable. We need our starting pitching to step up. But how many more times are we going to rely on pitchers like Nick Pivetta, Vince Velasquez, Zach Eflin even, hell, Jake Arrieta, because Jake Arrieta hasn't been the guy that we signed that contract to. Even though we didn't expect Cy Young Jake Arrieta, we expected at least a solid Jake Arrieta who was pitching for the Chicago Cubs. He wasn't, and Jake Arrieta hasn't been that. Well, we're going to rely on Nick Pivetta or Vince Velasquez because they have the stuff, we just have to hope? No! Just... why? Like, we knew these problems going into the season. And why are we still waiting to fix them? If you're expecting to win this division, if you have expectations to make the playoffs, why aren't you making changes when changes have to be made? Why aren't you fixing the problems instead of waiting to fix the problems? Why don't you fix the problems when they assert themselves into vision? Why are you waiting to fix those problems? Because if you wait till the trade deadline, we're going to be crushed by then. We're not even going to be talking playoffs. We're going to be talking free agency in the offseason at that point. If you're waiting for the trade deadline, you're going to be selling. You're not going to be buying. I'm not wasting all these prospects on a guy like Madison Bumgarner, who's probably going to walk in free agency. I'd rather take a crack at him in free agency and getting him on this roster for next season. I'm not wasting good prospects probably on a rental. Like, maybe a guy, if you get there, has a contract maybe for like a year plus or 2, but no, I'm not wasting prospects. I'm not wasting players on the roster right now for guys that are probably not going to be on the team next year. I'm not going to salvage whatever playoff hope we have at the trade deadline when we're probably going to be way out of it at the rate we're playing right now. Just no. And just this ball game in general, just flat out garbage on a pitching standpoint in general. This series has showcased our pitching woes instead of the Aaron Nola game, because Aaron Nola just went out there and pitched his ass off. And even in his last 3 outings, he's pitched his ass off. Nick Pivetta sucked yesterday. Zach Eflin sucked today. Couldn't get out of the 3rd inning. We allowed 10 extra base hits today. 5 doubles, 5 home runs. I'm not going to knock the offense either, but 10 of the 12 hits the Phillies had were all singles. Even though we scored 6 runs, 10 of the 12 hits were all singles. Where are the extra base hits coming at that point? But I'm not going to blame the offense because we put 6 runs on the board, and 6 runs should help you win a ball game at least. Hell, we put 4 runs in the 1st inning, and we have been a terrible team in the 1st inning ever since Andrew McCutchen went down with that ACL injury. We've been a terrible 1st inning team, and we had a glimmer of hope against one of the Braves' best pitchers right now, and we knock him up for 4 runs in the 1st inning, draw him to at least 30 pitches, and you let the Braves come back from that? 5 home runs, 2 by Swanson, 1 by Freeman, Acuna with a bomb, and Josh Donaldson again. And then Nick Markakis crushing us for like 3 doubles. When is it gonna end? When is it gonna click into their minds that something has to change? Something has to be fixed. When is it gonna click into that front office's mind that we can't go out there relying on guys like Nick Pivetta, Vince Velasquez, Zach Eflin, or even Jake Arrieta? Hell, I'm like, thank God we're getting near the All-Star break so we can take a damn break from this team. And I'm just looking at this realistically, this team is not good enough. Sorry for hitting the mic, but this team is not good enough. This team is not good enough in general. Looking at it realistically, because of all that talk going into the regular season, even through spring training, like, why is this pitching staff good enough to compete for a division? And right now, it's not showing it. When you have guys like Aaron Nola going out there giving you gems, but the rest of the 4 are giving you shit, there's a problem right there. And nothing is being fixed. Nothing is being changed. When we go out there with a slither of hope that these guys can go out there and pitch a good game for us, a quality outing, you can't rely on that. You can't rely on hope when you're competing for a division. You have to go out there and rely on guys that are going to go out there and give you a gem. Well, not a gem, but give you a good quality outing. You can't rely on guys like Nick Pivetta, Vince Velasquez, when you cannot tell whatever those guys are going to go out there and throw. They've been inconsistent in their tenure with the Philadelphia Phillies. Zach Eflin, yeah, he's been consistent at times, but there are stretches when he gets really bad. And he's in that stretch right now. Jake Arrieta has been the guy we signed to that contract. Has he? No. Jake Arrieta has actually been terrible. Like, even though he throws a good game here and there, you still don't know where you're going to get out of Jake Arrieta. And if you're blaming a lot of this on Bryce Harper, you're clueless at this point. Even blaming that contract for Bryce Harper, I don't care about the money we signed to Bryce Harper because he's worth it all. Bryce Harper is not the problem. Bryce Harper has been one of our best players this season. Think of it last year when I was talking to one of my buddies with this. Bryce Harper last year, in the first half of the season, batted .214. He still made the All-Star team. He's having a lot better first half than he did last year. Doesn't make the All-Star team. And he's been one of our better players. Even though our offense at a lot of times finds its inconsistencies, that's not the major problem. When you have your pitching staff and bullpen constantly blowing ball games, when you have a chance to win, that is the problem. That is the major problem, and no one seems to be fixing it right now. There hasn't been a key chance of, I'm going to go out there, and like Matt Klintak, there's like, oh, we're going to stick to our guts and stick to the guys that we rely on and believe in. I believe in Nick Pivetta. I believe in Vince Velasquez. Well, they've been giving you shit for a couple of years now, and they still show no signs of improving. These guys suck. Nick Pivetta, Vince Velasquez suck. Zach Eflin, Jake Arrieta, he's starting to suck. Only guy out there you can rely on is Aaron Nola because he's your ace and he's the best pitcher out of the whole roster. And that's sad. When you only have one good pitcher probably on your entire roster, you're not going to win a division. And also, with the starting pitching staff, we are through, the 87 game point at this mark right now. We have given up 150 home runs. And only last year, we gave up 171 through 162 games. Where did that come from? Where did all these home runs come from? Our starting pitching staff and the bullpen has barely changed throughout the course of these 2 seasons. What has changed to where we cannot keep the ball in the ballpark? What has changed? We're on rate to get out-homered by 80. We're on pace to give up 256 home runs. Overshooting a franchise record for most home runs allowed in the season. We're probably also going to be hitting MLB records for most home runs allowed in the season. That's trash. That's terrible. And you also, guess what? The Washington Nationals have been playing really hot since the end of May. They're one of the best teams in baseball since the end of May. And guess also what? They're in second place right now. And this is the Phillies. This is the first time they've been in third place this season. So you know, it's starting to crumble a little bit. Something has to change. It's getting ridiculous on how bad this is getting right now. On how there's just been no sign of making a change whatsoever. Just going out there relying on the same guys day in and day out. The same pitchers, the same bullpen guys, even though our bullpen has been riddled with injuries a lot. But that can also factor in to your starting staff. Can't go deep in a ball game. The only guy that can really go deep in a ball game is Aaron Nola and possibly Zach Eflin from on a good day. It's trash. Your starting pitching staff is trash. And something has to change if you even have a slimmer of hope to win the division. Because even if you try to make the wild card, that's still embarrassing because you had expectations to win the division this year. And those chances right now are getting shot right now because of how hot the Braves are and how hot the Washington Nationals are right now. Even your wild card hopes are starting to become shot at this point. So something has to change in a span of a week if you even want a shot at making the postseason. But at this point, I'm not even going all out on buying. Maybe buy one guy, maybe two, but I'm not going all out. At this point at the trade deadline, I'd rather sell. Sell guys maybe like Cesar Hernandez, maybe a Maikel Franco. Guys that are not going to be on the team next year. Because at this point, I've been talking to my buddy and with my family members who are pissed as hell with this team as well as everyone else. We're already looking forward to next year. Already looking at next year. Not even looking forward to, just looking at next year. Just the way to make this team better. Because this team isn't doing it right now. This team isn't giving enough. With all the talent on this roster, they're not giving it all. And that starting pitching staff is just not going to cut it anymore. We can't rely on those guys day in and day out. The only guy you can rely on is Aaron Nola because he's getting hot. And he's your ace. He's your best pitcher out of the whole roster. And that's saying something. Something has to change, and I don't see it. And guess what? Vince Velasquez versus Jacob deGrom tomorrow when the Phillies go to New York. That's fun. And then you also got Noah Syndergaard on Saturday. Even better. And I don't even care that we swept the freaking New York Mets last week because they're an entire dumpster fire in itself. Yeah, anyone could probably beat the New York Mets. The Miami Marlins could probably beat them, and they struggle against the NL East. So, I mean, it's like bad enough if we go into New York this weekend. Yeah, we're probably going to lose to Noah Syndergaard and Jacob deGrom because we can't hit good pitching and we can't hit young pitching like it did today. It's just not good right now. It's really frustrating to watch. Yeah, I'm going to watch every game here on and here out because I'm a loyal fan of course, but something has to change with this ball club. Something has to change to get this team better, to get this team to wake up a little bit. So, as always, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, boys. Really getting frustrating at this point with this team.